Market structure legislation for crypto looking pretty bullish right now. An awesome video just dropping from Brian Armstrong with a little update. I want to show you a quick clip. While tonight, SEC approves the listing and trading of Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund covering BTC, ETH, XRP, Solana, and ADA. I wasn't going to do a video tonight, but these pieces of news dropping, and this one, SEC approves generic listing standards for ETFs. I want to discuss what that means because it's massive. I want to look at the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin. This is altcoins right now, a potential breakout underway. We need to be careful. And Ethereum, as always, will kind of give us a nice little roadmap, even when it comes to this bullish ETF news that is kind of happening right now, because there are many different things to consider. This is very bullish on the macro, but there are many different things to consider. So hit the subscribe and like on the way in if you're not in our intelligence system. Join our members, everybody. We have members coming in. We have a free trial going on right now. Hit the link below and explore our risk models and our exit planners and start strategizing. If we get a bull market, you will want to be ready with a plan on when to take profits. Do not round trip the bull market. So I want to start here. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says he's in DC working to get crypto market structure legislation passed and making sure we never have another Gary Gensler. Check this quick clip. This just dropping like 22 minutes ago.
But barring these little details here and there, I think this thing has a good chance of getting done. I've actually never been more bullish on a market structure getting passed. It's a freight train leaving the station. So we're going to keep showing up and fighting for your rights. You can do a lot to help by going to standwithcrypto.org and contacting your
So looking really bullish, says Brian. Looking really bullish. Now, this is just happening while this happened. I mean, this was just posted from, what is this? This was 8 o'clock, Cointelegraph, SEC approving the listing and trading of Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. We went over what it covers: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and ADA. Here's the thing that made this kind of cool is just feels like moments before, but it was a few hours ago, I guess. This was coming out. SEC approves generic listing standards for ETFs, paving way for digital asset listings without explicit approval. You know, this whole thing that keeps happening with like a lot of the ETFs, we're waiting on filings, or it gets filed and then we're waiting on approval and then it gets delayed and then it's delayed again. And it's like hundreds of days before you can get an approval. Well, now this is turning into potentially weeks to get an approval, but this goes a little bit kind of more in depth. And I want to explain what this means. There are actually certain coins that we have to pay attention to within this context right now. So the SEC just approved generic listing standards for commodity-based trust shares on NASDAQ, CBOE, and NYSE. This means crypto ETPs that meet the threshold. So that's the key word, threshold. And when it comes to the threshold being met, there are 12 that qualify. And you can see the list here: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Link, XLM, AVAX, Shiba Inu, DOT, Solana, and ADA. These qualify because they already have futures trading on CFTC designated markets for 6 months or 6+ months. I made a note because Cardano just makes the threshold. It's crazy. And even when it comes to the date, I'm not exactly sure the date. Maybe it's like sometime in September it will meet the threshold, but Cardano specifically launched in March 2025, so currently right at the threshold. We'll have to check the exact date. Now, this is just, I talk about like altcoin ETF season and all that good stuff. Do you see these headlines? Do you see the headlines? While we have a Cardano risk model in our intelligence system at 39, the altcoin risk model is at 27. By the way, this list of coins besides Shiba Inu, they're all in our risk models. All these coins that are listed here, they're in our risk models. And we are just kind of touching the surface here. We are at the starting line of a bull market, of a bullish business cycle. Here is the altcoin market cap chart. So let's talk charts. I want to talk about Ethereum too. I want to point out something when it comes to this ETF stuff. We do need to be careful. Just because we have this ETF bullishness does not mean it's just moon tomorrow. But let's start here with a clip. This was from August 18th, almost a month ago. Really fast. Check it out. This little consolidation phase. Here's the moving average on the RSI. My question is, are we going to get a little revisit, pull into that area? Very similar to kind of how it pulled into the RSI area back here. And then it was boom, altcoin season? Are we going to get something similar? Is that the setup? We'll get a hint of that on the Ethereum daily. So we've been tracking these markets a lot in many different ways. That's one of them. So you can see what happened. There's August 18th, right? We started falling. We did not even touch the moving average line here on the RSI. But what's interesting to me, and this is a weekly chart, let's see how this weekly candle closes, okay? We still have, 3 days, 23 hours. That's a lot in terms of the volatility that can take place as we are hovering at like this breakout area. We're just testing all-time highs and we might get rejected. But going back to this chart, you see we were kind of comparing it to last cycle and what happened with this breakout move to the upside. We're waiting for a clear breakout out of this lower high consolidation that altcoins have been in since March 2024. I mean, this is going, what is that, like a month? That's like a year and a half. So right now, though, you see this little breakout. I'd be very careful. Let's see how the weekly candle closes. Also, let's, track things like Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance right now in the weekly. Are we going to put in a new low and even a short-term low, a lower low? That will be important as well in the next week or so. So we're going to track these things. But right now, the altcoin market cap chart and the altcoins in general, they're looking bullish. I talked about in this morning's video the potential for rejection and coming back down. Again, 3 days, 23 hours till this weekly candle closes. Let's go look at Ethereum. The thing that I want to talk about with Ethereum, and I'm not going to harp on the analysis, right? We can look at an Ethereum chart right now. It's consolidating still in the symmetrical triangle on the daily, right in the middle. I'm not doing anything. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see if we break 4,700 with strength, or if we fall to 43, 4,400, is there support? Other than that, I'm just hanging out, right? Who knows how this is going to move? We can be faked out in every direction, but let's see what we wake up tomorrow morning to, right? Maybe we get a breakout to the upside or a breakdown to the downside. That's not the point. When it comes to the ETF stuff, I want to point something out. There's a lot of altcoin ETF bullishness, right? And I think Doge and XRP are even going live tomorrow with an ETF of some sort. Don't hold me to that, but I think I just read that, and it could be. But either way, bullishness. Well, I want to just show you. ETF for Ethereum went live for trading in July of 2024, and look what happened. Now, keep in mind, there were different things happening at the time, right? From a macro landscape, from the business cycle, from everything that was going on, going into like just in general, the August capitulation. So keep that in mind, right? Those things matter and those things are meaningful. Right now, I think we're in a better landscape for many different reasons. And we are. Interest rates, for instance, just started to come down today. We are at the very beginning. We still have in play Fed Chair Jerome Powell being replaced. I think it's in May, right? And who knows? Who knows what interest rates will look like going into that season and beyond that season? And who knows what the money printers will look like? But we're at a really nice area. I talked about the ingredients to a bull cycle for altcoins. They're really coming together. But I wanted to point out to you that just because, and in this case, Ethereum went live for ETF trading, it wasn't like, okay, game on, it's up only. So I want to keep that in mind as we're evaluating altcoins and specific altcoins, right? Ethereum, or I'm sorry, not Ethereum, but we look at this list. Doge, Litecoin, Link, ADA. Speaking of ADA, same thing there. There's so much bullishness for ADA. We can't just anticipate that it's going to be up only. For ADA, for instance, now that I'm on chart, $1.04, $1.05. It's kind of like when we get there, then I'm going to start raising an eyebrow to the chart. For right now, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for all of these charts to move. You know what I'm doing in terms of targets to the upside. I enjoy the ride, right? So for symmetrical triangle for Ethereum, we start breaking out towards 6,000. I'm enjoying it. We start breaking down. I'm fine. I'm anticipating it. Both are in play right now. There's no sense to guess. There's only reason to prepare at this moment, be prepared for either scenario. So really bullish news across the board though, everybody. And I wanted to just kind of track it with you, give some of my thoughts, my take. I think things are really coming together nicely, but that likely will not come without volatility. I think people are feeling very bullish right now. Even as I do this video, you might be feeling bullish. just keep in mind how quick this chart that looks like it's going to break out, keep in mind how fast it can change and we consolidate. This has been the story. And the reason I'm bringing it up is not to be negative or bearish. I'm not bearish, but this has been the story, right? We start breaking out and it's a fake out. Start breaking out and it's just a slow and steady growth this cycle. It's completely different than every other cycle. So adapt to it, prepare for everything, expect nothing, and anticipate everything. And if you're not in our intelligence system, get back there with our risk models. We've got all the risk models back there for these altcoins. You can check the list that is of our available altcoins on our website. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at for today, everybody. I appreciate you watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Turn notifications on. I will see you all in the next video. God bless.